What are the top albums of the 1990s? We start out by looking at the end of the 80s. We always present the top 5 of the current year in the left panel, the top 5 of the decade in the middle panel, and the total since 1949 in the right panel. So at the end of the 80s, we have two Beatles albums in the top 3 at number 1 and 3. Between them, Michael Jackson's Thriller, U2 at number 4, and the Bee Gees at number 5. So now we want to see if any albums of the 90s can challenge these top 5 and which albums dominate the 90s. So we start out in the year 1990. Most successful album, Sinead O'Connor's I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got, followed by Madonna, Mariah Carey, MC Hammer, and New Kids on the Block. Then in 1991, two legendary albums were released by Metallica and Nirvana, followed by U2, Guns N' Roses, and Michael Jackson. So only one album from 1990 is left in the top 5 of the decade in the middle panel, but the total top 5 on the right panel haven't changed yet. In 1992, Eric Clapton tops the ranking, followed by R.E.M., ABBA, Def Leppard, and Billy Ray Cyrus. And Metallica and Nirvana stay at the top of the decade. The total top 5 don't change. In 93, we have Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard at the top and makes it the top of the decade as well. Best album of the 90s up to that point. Then we have Mariah Carey, Meatloaf, Nirvana, and Janet Jackson in 93 as well. We jump to 94. Nirvana at the top, Unplugged in New York, followed by Pink Floyd, Bon Jovi, Green Day, and R.E.M. The top 5 of the decade don't change, so no album from 94 makes it into the top 5 of the 90s, and the total top 5 haven't changed either. In 95, we have Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, jumps to number 2 of the 90s. Then we have Mariah Carey, Oasis, Michael Jackson, and Bruce Springsteen. In 96, Celine Dion makes the top, followed by the Spice Girls, the Fugees, Metallica, and No Doubt. And Celine Dion, Falling Into You, also makes it to number 5 of the 90s. In 97, Celine Dion gets to the top again, followed by Radiohead, The Prodigy, The Verve, and Mariah Carey. In 98, we have Shania Twain at the top, Come On Over, followed by Celine Dion again and James Horner. Then Madonna, Lauryn Hill, and Mariah Carey. But no album of 98 makes it into the top 5 of the decade. And finally for the 90s, in 99, Santana's sensational comeback with Supernatural makes it to the top of the year and also breaks into the top 5 of the 90s at number 5. Then the Backstreet Boys, Celine Dion once again, Britney Spears, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So the 90s most successful album was Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard, followed by Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, and then two albums from 91, Metallica and Nirvana's Nevermind. But we see that no album of the 90s breaks into the total top 5 since 1949. So the Beatles remain at the top and at number 3, Michael Jackson at number 2, U2 at number 4, and the Bee Gees' Saturday Night Fever at number 5.